So, who are you?
Hi, my name is Danny Gray and I am the founder of JAAQ.
Now this is JAAQ. The reason that I founded JAAQ was through my own struggles and suffering with mental health. The reason that I suffer with a mental health condition is because I got bullied when I was 12 years old in my middle school because my ears used to be right angles to my head. That affected me so much that I now suffer with a condition called BDD, or body dysmorphic disorder, that still affects me to this day. From these struggles though, I did create my very own cosmetic brand called War Paint for Men, which has gone from strength to strength.
War Paint for Men. War Paint founder
Danny Gray. It is makeup for men and it's called War Paint.
I've been wearing makeup for the last 20 years because it's given me confidence. It's a tool I use, and I created a brand called War Paint, which I launched 3 years ago. It's gone incredibly well.
War Paint has grown phenomenally over the last few years, but what I was getting was so many customers reaching out to me, not to ask about product, but my own experience about mental health. All they wanted to do was ask me questions and ask for tips on how best to support themselves and people around them. After seeing all of those messages, honestly, I couldn't sleep because I didn't have all of the answers. I realised I needed to find a way to get people quick and free information, but most crucially for me, from the right sources. I needed the best doctors in the world.
Hi, my name is Erin Turner.
Paul Gilbert.
David Veal.
I am a consultant psychiatrist.
Clinical psychologist.
Consultant psychiatrist.
Worked in the health service for nearly 40 years.
At the Institute of Psychiatry, King's College London.
I specialise in the early intervention of psychosis.
That's what I'm here to talk about today, depression.
And I needed people with lived experience with these conditions.
My name's Alistair Campbell.
My name is David Harewood.
I am a writer.
And I'm an actor.
And I'm here to answer questions about depression.
So with these people on board and using the latest technology, JAAQ was created.
What is depression?
So what is depression? Depression is...
On Mental Health Awareness Day, October 2021, JAAQ was launched and we were blown away by the response.
We can exclusively reveal a brand new innovation which is being launched today. A new free interactive online tool.
Just ask a question.
Just Ask a Question is now live. It's
JAAQ with a Q.
You've got 60 million people and you've got 10% of them or 20% of them suffering from a mental health problem. That gives you some insight into the size of the problem.
You look at this and you think, why was this never done before?
Genuinely believe it's going to help so many people.
I can imagine businesses using JAAQ. I can imagine schools using JAAQ.
This could literally change the world and change healthcare.
But most importantly for me was the reaction from the users. It's been incredible, but trust me, this is just the start. The JAAQ van. Let's head in.
This is Wigan Warriors. Oh!
We're going to have a laugh, but it's about a serious matter that's going to make a difference to a lot of people, but we're doing it in a way that's never been done before, and that's what JAAQ is all about.
Go and find out for yourself.
He's already done about 100 questions.
Change the world, mate. Okay, guys, quiet on set.
No.
We've done all this in 10 short months. Imagine what we'll do together in 10 years. This is JAAQ, changing the world of mental health, one question at a time.
That's goosebumps, mate. Because of this.
Thank you. It's really hard to probably see from that what it actually is, but it's a free website, JAAQ.org, JAAQ.org. It's an interactive platform where you can go and ask leading experts pretty much any question you want about depression, body dysmorphia, and psychosis. And it's using the latest technology. And I wanted to do that, and it's a not-for-profit as well. And we're doing that because I want to do more than just talk about something. I want to give back.
But what's incredible, firstly, the technology is amazing. It's like you're talking to a hologram of these people on a device. It's extremely compelling. But secondly, that Warpaint as a brand has enabled you to reach a point where you're able to do something like this, which could have a much bigger and broader impact than even the brand itself is able to do.
Without a question, and I just think, all I wanted to say is that I've always said about using product or use makeup to help. I've used it to help me manage my mental health, but it's not going to fix it. So I wouldn't, you've got to get your mind right as well, and that's what I wanted to sort of do with creating something like JAAQ as well, to show I'm not just talking about mental health, I actually mean it. And it's not that I want to prove I mean it, it's that to me means so much, and that feeling you get for doing something like that is just unbelievable. Like, it doesn't matter about all the money in the world, it doesn't matter.
So it would be great to see if anyone's got any questions for you. Who's got a question for Danny? I mean, just in case people at home couldn't get that, you asked how important is the authenticity in the brand, which is so authentic in terms of making the brand successful. And I think that's a great question, because your brand's come a very long way in quite a short space of time.
Yeah, and so that question, so you want to know...
Well, I mean, your experience is what formed the business. I mean, how essential was that in making... You've obviously got a really successful brand, and you've got a really interesting and tough story behind it. How linked are those two things?
With the brand of being where it was without your personal story?
It's a good question. I'd like to think I would be able to do it without the story, but it would have been difficult, because I think people... What would happen... If you look back 10, 15 years ago, maybe longer, when especially Instagram first came about, people could buy maybe a T-shirt from a website, or Alibaba, I don't know if anyone's heard of that, put a name across it, give it to some influencers, and they could create a brand very, very quickly, and that could really work. It's moved on so much more now. More people are a lot more savvy to customers are. They want to know why am I buying into this brand, right? Because so many brands are popping up. So people want to buy into what... It doesn't have to be about a personal story. It can be about the brand story. But I think it's been really important for me. Really, and I made a mistake right at the beginning. It went well without the personal story at the beginning. But as soon as I really told that story more, it opens up the brand to what you can do.
How do you, and it was all negative, how do you switch around? I was thinking that for you, if you're struggling, that's the worst thing.
It was horrendous. It was horrendous. We had, it was unbelievable amount of press articles, and they were all negative. And then...
I remember some of those press articles. I remember seeing them, yeah.
Yeah, we've been in, so many press, and but it's funny, we've got a spreadsheet, right? And from where we've been over 700 press articles, we keep all of them, and we all put negative, positive, and the first load were negative when it went up, and then eventually went neutral. Now they're all positive. And I just think, but what that did do, which was really good, no one was talking about men's makeup at all in the industry, really, and then it exploded, and everyone was talking about it. So even though it was a negative, it started the conversation for men's makeup, which really hadn't happened before. But at the time, I did think the brand had died, and it was really hard. Yeah, it was horrendous. It was the worst experience of my life, especially at my sister's party as well, when it first happened, in about 3-4 days afterwards. But now what I've learned, the worst thing about people people talking about you are people not talking about you. So if I went back to that position now, I'd probably amplify it, say make it go bigger. But that's what you learn, right? But I'm not saying go out and get negative press for your brand, but it was really good for us, really good in the long term.
Great, your question?
Hi.
So are you finding, just a question for you, are you finding that, another question is, where are the men who are really supporting this, and where do you find the transition is from how we've done things traditionally to men wearing makeup, and have women being supportive of this? I feel like a lot of negative comments are men thinking, a woman would never be into me if I was wearing makeup, or women saying, no, this is actually a good thing because we have dark circles, we have wrinkles, or whatever it is. So is there an age when men are getting into this? Is there a certain walk of life, or are you finding that you're converting, especially with the fact that you're living it every day, you find that men are converting and saying, you know what, this could actually be a thing?
Yeah, look. Yeah, and first of all, what's interesting, 35% of our customers last year were women online, so purchasing for over halves. But what does that tell you? What it tells me, what do the boyfriends or partners do at home? Oh, I feel like shit. Got dark under eyes, can you have some product? That's what's been happening for a long time, right? So now they're going away, finding our brand, introducing it to them, and they're getting into it. The other thing I'd say about grooming, right? If all you got to look back is 10, 15, 20 years ago, men didn't wear deodorant, right? Well, to a point, skincare. And look at skincare now, it's exploded. To the point like men's grooming. But what does skincare do? Skincare does not make you live a day longer. It's not going to prolong your lifespan. So what's the point? What is the point of having skincare? It's going to, because it makes you look better, it makes you feel better. So what's the difference about being able to cover something up? And if you look, I talked about hair transplant earlier. Wayne Rooney got a hair transplant in 2011. Everyone took the mick out of him. Everyone took the piss out of him. Look at it now, the conversations which I have with my mates, I'll get my hair done in Turkey in 2 weeks, can't wait. Oh, wicked. Men's grooming is evolving and being that feeling you can do what you want to do, right? Makeup will be a given. I'm not just saying it because I'm in that industry, right? But it'll just be fun. And we've just secured 3 massive retailers, which will be launching into this year, huge. To be mass, and we launched a skincare range in June as well, July. So to your point, that's a great, because sometimes it's very hard for us to jump people who don't even have a grooming routine, right, into makeup. But now we're introducing the skincare range for July to help with that process. But it won't be for everyone. I'm not saying every guy has to wear makeup. I just want to be able to give a guy a choice. And I just think pretty soon it'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, he wears a bit of makeup. It's definitely changed even the 3 years since we started the brand. So
just one last follow-up. So who are, generally speaking?
Ages.
They're just like, who are the men who are saying, I could do this? Because we see a lot of heels locations, which is geared towards men. And you find that there are men who are like, yeah, I do a bit of skincare, so why wouldn't makeup make sense? Or is there a certain, or the women who are buying it, they say, hey, I find a product for my boyfriend or my husband or whatever.
It's so varied, right? Because I was always said, well, who's your demographic? When I first started, bear in mind, I'd never done like DTC brands and you go in front of VCs and stuff like this originally, and I'm like that. You know? They're like, who's your demographic? I'm like, everyone. But I actually meant it, right? I'm like, they're like, well, no, is it 18 to 24? I said, trust me, it was an age on wanting confidence, wanting to look, or how you feel. So, I'm not saying I'm always right, 'cause I definitely ain't, but our data on that, from 18 to 30, 18 to 30, 30 to 50, 50 plus, it's a 30-30-30 split on age for men. I was in the store the other day, because we're doing a capital raise at the moment, so I'm raising more money. And I had actually had a VC come to meet me at the store, and he was in there, and when he was in there, because I was talking to him, he was like, oh, who'd you get come in? I said, well, just wait, and we'll see. And the first guy who came in was a black gentleman, 60, head teacher. Just came in, he'd known about the brand, wanted to try it on. Next guy came in was a businessman who just wanted some concealer. And then an 11-year-old came in with his mum and dad. Oh. I'm not making that up either. And he was like, this guy was like, I see there's no demographic. Just let anyone, like, just a woman that gets to a certain age, doesn't mean, oh, you can't look after yourself anymore. So it's just interesting, It's very hard to pinpoint. Of course, like the homosexual market has always been very good for us. LGBT, I can't even say it properly. So our community has been really strong for us, and but more and more, it's the wider audience, because I think, especially straight guys, I think they've always thought, well, makeup's pink lipstick, big eyeliner, and that's all. It's not. There's different levels, right? So I just wear it to even out my skin tone. So.
Right, we've got one more question. Then we have to wait. Look at all these questions. You're all going to have to grab Danny afterwards. Let's come to you, and then everyone else can grab Danny afterwards. Last question.
Yeah. Thank you. First of all, thank you for sharing your story and
congratulations.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Successes. One thing that's very apparent is the standard of your creative assets. I think everyone here can say those videos are kick-ass. So my question is, how integral would you say good creative is to the success of a brand?
Great question. It should be your first hire. That's my view. Content is everything, and that's how you get your story across, how you get your brand, your message. So we film everything save it, we've got hard drives, and then we can go back in and tell the story. Because sometimes it's very difficult to get a brand message across on just a website, and content is everything. Like Ash was my third employee, and we do all content in-house. And I just hired him because I just knew in my gut I needed a content person. I said, just film me. Not me, like the brand. And then we went viral after going in John Lewis a week later. And he captured everything. And I look back and go, if I hadn't hired him, then we put that out. Because then everyone, and I think, because quite a lot of people put their hands up, and I can't believe it sometimes, the amount of people know about the brand.
Yeah.
You know, it's ridiculous. And I honestly believe that's because of content. And of course, we had really good press and stuff. But people see your content, see your launch in here. Like, we just launched in Manor in Switzerland. No one here would know that, but we filmed a whole episode of like launch. I got in the shop window, and then off the back of it, launching across all 62 stores. Went and filmed that, edit it together. You put it out across your network. It was like, holy shit, they just launched in Switzerland. You know, wall painting in Switzerland in stores. But if you hadn't had content to show that, no one would know, right?
Yeah.
No one would be
So
like
true.
into the journey. So it's crucial for me. Crucial.
Right, well, Dan, you are going to get mobbed because there are a lot of hands there, but we need to move on to our next session. So first of all, thank you so much to Danny from Wallpaint. What an amazing story. And Danny, you're hanging around for a bit, right? Yeah, Danny's hanging around. So he's going to.
Don't turn up just on time and then I'm running off.
He's now going to take a breath from that entrance. And right, thank you very much.